It's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Even though the DJ said turn it up, we're going to turn it down because it's 8:01. And thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in on another episode of We're Going to Need a Bigger Blog. I'm your host, Alec Holker. And tonight, even though we did start off with the legendary Space Jam song by Quad City DJs, we will be talking about Space Jam for a little bit. But since we decided that Space Jam really couldn't take up a full hour of our well-knowledge opinions about the movie, we decided to split it up to a top 5 basketball movies for the sake of the start of March Madness, which starts Thursday. So the entire month, the rest of March, will be filled with upsets that bracket busters. And it'll be a really good season of games. There's a lot of really new teams in the tournament, and we're looking forward to it. But tonight we're talking about top 5 basketball movies. So there's a whole wide variety of them. And tonight joining me is Willis Levert. He was here last week talking Superbad, which was a fantastic episode. We have 7 likes on SoundCloud, Willis.
It's Superbad, so makes sense.
I know. It was one of our most liked episodes. So Willis is back, and I want to make a quick shout out to my STC 262 group. Emily Cosmos said she'd be tuning in, so thanks for tuning in, Emily. Great job at our group meeting today. We did awesome today.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so let's dive right in. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Alec, and my guest tonight is Willis, and we're talking basketball movies. So before we start with our number 5, basketball movies are really... There's some really good ones out there. There's also some really comedic ones that I think a lot of people think first. But the really good ones are, most of the time, they're based on these true stories. And when Dr. President Crawford came on at the beginning of the year, we talked football movies, and that's where we kind of picked out the best ones, or the ones that were true. So we'll be talking a lot about some really good stories, some really heartfelt stories, and all playing around the awesome game of basketball which they first started playing just with normal basketball hoops and trying to just shoot a ball.
Yeah, well, a lot of these movies are based off true stories, or a lot of them are really attack like social norms or political injustice, or kind of a lot of them touch on race and kind of social constructs.
Big
which
time.
Adds to the movies a lot of the time.
Oh, definitely. I'd say, so I was trying to think about it, like what genre of sports. So like there's rugby movies. Well, there's not a lot of rugby movies, but I think of Invictus, which is great. Mm-hmm. But like there's plenty of football movies. There's plenty of baseball movies, and there's plenty of basketball movies.
I'd say basketball, baseball, and football have like the most good movies.
Well, right, yeah. So what out of like the number one, what would you say has like the best movies of the genre of the sport genre? So you got like baseball, basketball, football of like those.
I found like 8 to 10 really good basketball movies, so I'm gonna stick with basketball.
You're gonna stick with basketball.
Football has a lot. It's probably pretty close with football. Baseball, I would say, is third by like a better margin than second.
Yeah, definitely. Baseball comes in my third. I would say football comes in this. Man, that's a tough one. I actually definitely football. Definitely football for the first one, and then second basketball. But so there's a lot of honestly there's a lot of good movies, especially basketball movies. Talk about Air Bud. Air Bud's one of my favorite. Air Bud, if you didn't grow up watching Air Bud, just like rewind the clock at least 15 years and then go watch Air Bud.
Or just go watch it anyway.
Or just, well, it's being dramatic,
funny.
Willis. You can be dramatic on this show, even though Willis isn't too dramatic sometimes. But also Space Jam, the 1996, awesome, half animated, half not animated with Michael Jordan and Bill Murray.
I'd definitely say basketball movies have the most actual basketball players in the movies.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Like all of them. Like Mike has
Yep.
almost like a bunch of players.
Like
And
Mike has a bunch of players. Space Jam has a bunch of players.
Space Jam. Oh, Space Jam has the five that
Yeah.
they steal the powers from the monsters.
He Got Game has Ray Allen in it. There's a bunch of other movies, and then I also say that it's just in general, basketball players end up being actors in a lot of other cases. Like LeBron James was in that movie with
The Bill Hader Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Yeah,
Yeah, he was in that. That was funny.
Amy Schumer.
Never
Yeah.
saw the movie, but yeah, LeBron made that. And LeBron is currently in the works for Space Jam 2.
Yes, hopefully it doesn't ruin it.
Hopefully it does not. I don't think it will. It definitely will have to kind of be like Space Jam 1. How like he's kind of like
I don't know what's going to
balance.
happen.
It's definitely going to have to
interesting.
be about him balancing kind of like leaving Cleveland or going to LA, and then the Looney Tunes got to come in. Also, Michael Jordan's going to have to make a comeback too.
I'm sure he'll appear.
He should.
He'll have to.
Like he'll probably.
I'm actually more interested in seeing who they steal the powers from. Who are they going to call like the top 5 best players?
Well, what
in
if
the
they
league?
don't even? What if they might not even
they're gonna
steal
have
the
to do something
powers?
like
They'll
that.
you don't. I don't know. When did they say like 2020? Maybe something like that, or 20.
I don't know. It'll be interesting though.
But people have been waiting for the Space Jam sequel for a while. Space Jam 1 was a hit.
This is true, but a lot of people also don't want a Space Jam sequel because because a lot of people will say
There's that
you know
scare. Yeah.
Jordan, LeBron, they don't want to give it to LeBron, or some people would say they'd rather have Kobe do it. There's at one point in time there was talks about Blake Griffin doing it just because he was such a good
That's
dunker.
right. Yeah.
So
They did have they were
yeah.
putting Blake Griffin's picture on
there
the.
was like a big mural or poster or
On the
something like that
posters.
in LA.
Oh yeah, definitely. So and then there's some really the list is definitely there started a lot of discussion this morning when I was trying to find Willis, oh my goodness, Willis, please turn off your cell phones. This is where
That's my laptop.
Okay, all right.
But somebody wanted to listen, so
did you tell them how?
yep.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. Got a real thing going now. Welcome to the Space Jam. All right. So really these basketball movies, like I said, there's some really comedic ones, like Will Ferrell's Semi-Pro, which we'll definitely get to talking about. This awesome movie that it's on Netflix. It's called Basketball. It's really stupid. It was in like
It's hilarious. It's made by the creators of South Park.
yeah, that's right. Basketball.
And they play themselves. It's like
Yeah, they play-
only time you'll see them in person,
Yeah,
really.
it's 1998, and it's hilarious. Two childhood friends are pro athletes of a national sport called basketball. They mix baseball and basketball together, and if you watch it, it's surprisingly entertaining, and
It's really funny.
you actually get really tied into the movie, and it's honestly hilarious.
And you could just if you have a basketball hoop, you could literally play it with your friends. It's a
Yeah.
very
Also,
easy, fun,
the
funny
game of basketball is super simple, and it's actually very fun. So I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. So I count that as a basketball movie, even though it's a hybrid of the baseball.
I'd say that gets like an honorable mention.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure. It's not. Yeah, no, it's definitely not on my top 5. But I had to do. Also, another honorable mention, Rebound. Who was that actor? You ever see that movie, Willis?
I don't think so, actually.
Rebound. There it is. Martin Lawrence. This guy, he's like the coach for like a grade school team. He's demoted to JV team after a public meltdown. So like he gets like really upset at like a college basketball game, and then like they kick him out of the NCAA, and then he has to like go back to like his alma mater and teach the JV team. The JV team is just super bad, and then he also like ends up like dating one of the like the players. Well, one of the players' moms. But recognize that Rebound?
Oh no, I've never seen that.
You never
but
saw that?
It's just
It was pretty. Hey, Martin Lawrence. That was back in Martin Lawrence's prime. That was after all the Bad Boys movies. He still had it. But let's dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in.
Do you want to just go? We each go our 5.
We'll do a 5. Yeah, we'll just do.
We'll say them all at once.
No, we'll do 5 and
right.
4.
Cool.
And then we'll do
Just
3.
clarifying.
We'll take a. Have you not been on a top 5 one? No, you've not.
I haven't done a top 5 with you
We'll
yet.
do a 5. We do 5, 4, 3. Take a quick commercial break for our sponsor, and then 2s and 1s to close out. And then
Awesome.
Yep. So I'll start. Number 5, I have the Will Ferrell classic, Semi-Pro. Wow, I did not even thinking about getting some Semi-Pro clips. Oh man, Semi-Pro. All right, so Semi-Pro came out in. It was a Semi-Pro 2008 with Woody Harrelson too as well, and it's one of I think I would put it up there as Will Ferrell's one of his best of all his dumb comedy movies that he stars in, up there with Old School, Land of the Lost. I never saw any of those Daddy's Home movies, but I heard those were okay.
They kind of seem like Step Brothers, but grown up.
Yeah, definitely. But this is one of the, I would say, this is a very rewatchable movie from everything from the starting lineup to, so Jackie Moon, played by Will Ferrell, he's the starting forward, he's the head coach, he's the GM, and then he's also like the event director. So he does all the sponsorships. He hires all the cheerleaders. He orders all the food while also being the head coach and then also being the power forward. When he's a terrible basketball player, but
He's all right.
He's
all right.
Honestly, one of the funniest scenes is when he's at the bottom of the key and he's just passing the ball back and forth with Clarence at the top, and he's like, "Oh, I'm open. No, I'm not feeling it. Passes it back."
Oh, yeah.
And that's
I like it better when he's running the puke and he's like, "I'm just gonna go over, coach." Like, and he's literally trying to make him until he literally punches him.
Yeah, you ever been punching the jejuna, Willis?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. It looked really disgusting, and
looked not pleasant.
Yeah, not at all. But Will Arnett is in this as Lou, and he's fantastic. Him and Andrew Daly are the announcers as Dick Pepperfield and Lou Redwood. And those guys, they make the movie with they're announcing I don't even know what the league. It wasn't even it was before the NBA even was like founded.
It was like the ABA.
Yeah, it was like the ABA. ABA. And Woody Harrelson plays Monix in this too, which is great. Wow, they don't even give. Wait, isn't Lynn played by Jennifer Aniston? No, it's not.
No.
Wow. Oh, I thought that was Jennifer Aniston the entire time. Whoa, what? Wow, my life has been wow. Yeah, her name's Maria Tierney. I was like, I was looking at the list of actors. I was like, wow, I'm okay. Jeez. Jeez. Oh, Vakitis. What a great guy. Twiggy, I know.
Definitely a really funny cast.
Dude, it's hilarious. Father Pat the ref. Dukes, the homeless guy who hits the half court shot.
Yeah, he's the kid. He was supposed to be like the tough kid from Bad News Bears.
Tough kid. What tough
from
kid?
The original.
Oh, the original.
The original
one?
Bad News Bears, a tough kid.
I never saw that one.
Well, it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I never saw it. I only saw the one with Billy Bob Thornton, right?
Yeah, that's a remake.
Billy Bob Thornton. Okay, it's
Not
still
as
good. It's still
good,
all right,
but it's
all
not
right.
as good as the original.
I haven't seen one. But Semi-Pro is up there with. I'd put it up there with Blaze of Glory, all the Talladega Nights, Anchorman.
I would say it's probably 3 on my list of Will Ferrell movies, but
it definitely is. And one of my favorite
Maybe
quotes
4.
is I'd put it up there. It was definitely top 5 of Will Ferrell movies. Which one in there really all depends up to you. But one of my favorite scenes is when he's announcing that they're the game if they win the last game, they get fourth place.
It's the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Yeah, the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
So if my buddy Steve's listening out there, so it was 8th grade. We had a bake sale, and after mass we had to like go up to the podium and announce that we were having a bake sale during lunch. And so when we announced that we were having a bake sale, we did it Jackie Moon style. So we were like, announced, we were just saying to the whole class and probably like the entire school. So like 1st through 8th grade. And I bet maybe not even half, less than half, maybe less than a third of the people had seen Semi-Pro. So it was perfect. So no one really knew the reference. But we were like, when they look back on the annals of human history, they're going to remember 3 things: invention of fire, creation of fire, invention of submarine, and the All Saints 8th grade bake sale. And then we just like kept repeating it, just like Will Ferrell did. But instead of saying 4th place, we said 8th grade bake sale. So
awesome.
I peaked in 8th grade. Yeah, totally.
Peaked in grade school. Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Talk about how many. Oh yeah, totally. Will's just
big fan of that.
Oh yeah, totally. But Semi-Pro, great movie. If you haven't seen it, it's usually on. You can find it on TV anywhere. Honestly, it's always on TV. I always see it on TV.
Also, probably is the second best original song, maybe third song for a basketball movie. Love Me Sexy.
Oh yeah,
it's always great.
Oh yeah, totally. All right, Willis, what's your 5?
All right, so my 5 is actually the Hoosiers.
Whoa.
Which a lot of people,
wait. Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of people thought it would be a lot higher. Probably would think it would be a lot higher. Hoosiers in 1986, and I just don't think it aged super well. It's really
Not
cool.
at all. Not at all.
I have a hard time. I've watched it recently. I had a hard time watching it, mainly because a lot of it's about like alcoholism. The coach is kind of like on a redemption path from his screw ups in the past, and basically, watching it, it kind of looks like most high school teams would run through them. It was also kind of hard to watch. It was like, I hate that about sports movies. Sometimes like the sports action in it just looks really fake and just not entertaining to watch at all. So that's something that always kind of rubs me the wrong way with sports movies. But this was a true story, and it's one of the classics, so I definitely had to keep it in my top 5, especially because it is like the ultimate underdog story for being like a small town that has no business competing with like a larger population of like a city of city schools. And also, they also have the best jerseys probably, and behind other than Space Jam, probably have the best jerseys for a basketball movie.
Yeah, I think this was definitely the movie. Even though IU is very, IU is a very recognizable school, but I think this was one of the movies that really kind of made. Well, it's also a true story. So this was also like made IU really what it is today. It's a great movie. Gene Hackman is a phenomenal guy. I met him a couple times. He's a great guy, very nice, great family too. And it's just, it is that, yeah, it says here, so awesome article by Esquire about all the top 20 movies, but it will be the quintessential Indiana basketball movie. So I'm assuming that all the IU players, they watch this before they play. They should.
I mean, it is like, it's not Indiana University, it's just it's a small high school in Indiana.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen this in a while. I remember watching this though. This was
it's like the name is Hoosiers is just for all of Indiana, and it kind of comes from
what?
That.
Okay.
It'd be like a high school team being the Bears or something like that.
Oh,
or like
okay. I follow.
Also the Illini.
Okay, I follow.
For Chicago.
I follow.
So yeah, but it's definitely one of the best stories. Like, I mean, it's like the premise is literally just a coach with a checkered past and a local drunk train a small town high school basketball team to become a top contender for the championship. It's like, it's almost as great as NC State, but for a high school basketball tournament. Like, they had no business being there, and they ended up being having one of the best like runs ever for like a small town school in a state tournament. Which at that point in time, I don't think it was divvied up due to like population of the school. So a school with 500 kids could play a team with a school with 8,000 kids. So that just kind of adds to the whole underdog story.
But like Willis said, it did not age well, even though it does have the legendary actor Gene Hackman. I did grab a couple of their awesome awesome scenes. The state championship closing game.
All right, listen up. Here's what we're going to do. Jimmy, they're going to be expecting you to take the last shot. We're going to use you as a decoy. Buddy, you get the ball, give it to Merle on the picket fence. He's going to take the last shot. All right, let's go. What's the matter with you guys? What's the matter with you?
I'll make it.
That's what we know.
Buddy, get the ball to Jimmy, top of the key. Rustin, you spread the floor. Let's go. Let's
And of course the Hoosiers go, well, not the Hoosiers, whatever team they are, the high school team, they end up going to win. Really awesome. He makes the shot. But I think honestly the perfect example for that movie is it hasn't aged well, but if you've seen it, which a lot of our parents have, I saw it when I was really young.
It's still a classic.
I'm pretty sure I have it on like the DVD, but like the first time it was ever on DVD. So yeah, definitely a classic. And speaking of Hoosiers is my 4. So we'll move on to our 4th of our top 5. So Hoosiers does make our 4. It's a really it is a small town, kind of gets you in that area, practically makes you feel like you are from Indiana. I do remember I was looking at some clips today. The movie ends with a shot of the fields, the cornfields. I don't know how it starts. It might even start the same. But there's a lot going on individually with some players, but also even with the coach, Norman Dale, played by Gene Hackman, like I said, great guy. He's Hickory's. That's the high school. Hickory's new basketball coach.
Yep. I thought the best part about the movie, though, is kind of just how it touches on kids and how they kind of can live out an actual fairy tale story during their high school championship or something like that if they make a run in the playoffs like they did, and they actually can get a happy ending and win, which is really nice, especially when they have their coach's issues and their assistant coach is the town alcoholic, and I can't remember which player's dad, but it was somebody's dad.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, I remember. Doesn't he go to the house?
Yeah, he shows up to one of the games drunk and causes a scene, and it was kind of tough for the kid.
Right.
So that was one of the main subplot behind them trying to win the state championship, really. So that was really good. So for my number 4, I have White Man Can't Jump, which might be the best name I have ever heard for a basketball movie. It is hilarious. It was directed by Ron Shelton, who I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, also directed Bull Durham, a really famous baseball movie with Kevin Costner. This movie, if you haven't seen it, it is basically about Wesley Snipes plays a guy named Sidney Dean, and Woody Harrelson plays Bill Hoyle.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
Yep. Great movie. Basically, this is a really fun, more comedy movie. It's really witty, and it's kind of really funny to watch. Basically, they're both con men who have gambling addictions, in a sense. One of them's to pay the bills. The other one is just addicted to betting.
Which one's addicted to gambling?
Woody Harrelson.
I could see that.
Yeah. And Wesley Snipes is trying to make money to pay the bills, etc. And it's takes place in a part of LA. And it's them hustling the entire movie. And it's really about them hustling each other, hustling everyone in the neighborhoods, and just kind of
1992.
Yeah,
wow.
It's really funny though. It is hilarious.
I know. I've seen the clip when they make fun of Woody.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous scene.
That's the one.
They start betting on whether or not Woody Harrelson can dunk, and he gets pretty close. So I don't know. He complained about the hoop not being regulation, but yeah, really funny movie though. Super witty, and honestly, if you like basketball movies, it's actually one of the more entertaining ones. And it's a lot funnier than a lot of the other basketball movies that are out there.
Bull Durham. I thought you were saying Paul Durham.
No,
I was like,
Bull.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what. Yes, he did. And he was a writer for Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So White Man Can't Jump. Definitely a sleeper. I've never seen it. I've always heard good things about it. Especially Woody Harrelson. I think Woody Harrelson is definitely up there for one of my favorite actors. Wesley Snipes is in all the Blade movies. No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wesley Snipes is also known as like one of the worst actors to work with.
Really?
Yeah, he's just apparently a nightmare on set kind of guy.
Just like, do you think he's like just too?
No, like the reports of he's just a complete.
He's not a nice guy.
Yeah, for not using inappropriate language, he's a jerk on set.
There you go.
But them talking to each other and chirping each other, it's hilarious. And it really picks up the vibes of like if you're playing pickup on an outdoor court or at a gym and how just things can get out of hand, and it's really funny. Or if you've ever bet with your friends on a game of basketball, you kind of understand.
I think a lot of us have.
Yeah, I feel like at some point everyone's kind of like bet on like a 3-on-3 in a backyard game or something like that, and that's basically the whole movie with slightly higher stakes, and the entire time they're half doing it because they want to make money, half doing it because they love playing basketball, but like they're really just in it for themselves, and it's like a pretty selfish movie in a lot of sense.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
it's a comedy though.
You said they hustle each other. So what do you like? What does?
I won't get into too many spoilers, but obviously at some point they're like they try and they start betting on each other or things like that, or like we just talked about how Wesley Snipes bets Woody Harrelson that he can't dunk, and that's where the line comes from the movie "White Man Can't Jump," as he's chirping him as he's trying to dunk on 3 attempts. So really funny though.
So you did bring back a fantastic childhood memory because you said it, but backyard basketball, the game was awesome.
Oh, all those backyard sports were amazing.
All fantastic.
Pablo Sanchez might be the best.
Pablo Sanchez,
might be the best baseball player in a video game.
I think that's the only name that anyone knows from any of those games. It's just Pablo Sanchez. Or what else you got? I feel like you.
I don't have much more.
That's
than
what I
Pablo
mean.
Sanchez. If I saw the names, I would recognize them. But Pablo Sanchez is the one everyone remembers.
Basketball.
Yeah. So White Man Can't Jump. If you haven't seen it, definitely a good watch. Especially if you like basketball movies, and Woody Harrelson is just hilarious in it.
Yeah, Woody is definitely up there for very underrated actor. He plays a lot.
I feel like lately he's been popping up everywhere. He's been in a lot of movies as like a teacher. He's in
what movie?
Easy not Easy A. It was I can't remember the name of it. It was
he was in Venom.
Yeah,
that's right. He was at the end of that.
Yes, he's in Venom. He was
in Solo,
War of Planet of the Apes,
which was awesome. I liked him in that, even though he died. Like, he didn't do much in that movie.
He did. He did a lot.
He did not do enough. They made him out to be like the awesome guy.
Yeah, he kind of.
They definitely overhyped him.
But still, it's kind of funny that Woody Harrelson's probably. I think he's the only actor, that I've seen and that'll probably make this list twice for us.
That is true. Fact.
He's on it for.
Didn't you say semi-pro? Yeah, for your 5. So
you said semi-pro.
Oh, I said semi. That's right. I said semi-pro. Yeah, and he does. He was, like we said, he's in that one too. He played a great role in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Did you ever see that one?
that was a really good movie.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Yeah. But Woody Harrelson is probably like he's the only like white main character in this, so it's also kind of like culturally forward.
He's a darn good track record.
Yeah, he does. He's a really good actor.
He is.
He's slept on. All right.
Except hold on. Because I like talking about Woody. Because he was also in True Detective.
Yes. He's in the first season of True Detective, which is the best season by far.
Have you even watched the 3rd season?
Yeah. Unreal. Mashallah Ali.
Great guy.
Fantastic
guy.
Carries the show.
Yeah. They say Woody, what is he?
Much better than the 2nd season. 2nd season was terrible for True Detective.
I saw a couple of them. But
they're hard to watch.
Yeah.
Still, Woody Harrelson was fantastic.
Woody Harrelson, great. Great guy. All right, number 3. Number 3 is the one that I started this show with that awesome song, Space Jam. The awesome movie that I think anyone born in the 90s grew up on. I think half the time I would always watch this movie with my neighbor, Sean. He ended up moving away, but like while he was in the neighborhood, we were young. We would always watch Space Jam. And at the end of it, it gets you so hyped because I Believe I Can Fly is like playing while also they're throwing the ball to Michael Jordan to get back his shoes and get back in his sport because starts off, he's like, oh, I don't know if I need to play baseball. He tries the baseball, doesn't really work out. ESPN makes fun of him. Screw you, ESPN. So hard on Michael Jordan. He has feelings too. But then he gets hijacked by the Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. No. Yeah. No.
Yes.
Daffy. Oh, yeah. Daffy.
They're the ones that actually do the kidnapping. And then, I mean, the Looney Tunes all just suck him in on the golf course and, like, the first, 15 minutes of the, he's literally picking up his hole-in-one, and then he gets sucked into the Looney Tunes world. And then it's Daffy and Bugs that go get his, equipment from his house.
Bugs, Tweety, Tasmania. Oh, yeah, Daffy Duck. I don't know what I was thinking. Porky the Pig.
The Martian.
Elmer
Fudd.
Pepe. Right. Oh, Pepe. The This movie's awesome because it has literally. So they were like, you know what? We're gonna combine every cartoon that was really the start of all the cartoons, the Looney Tunes, and then we're gonna team them up with the best basketball player of the time period. See, of the time period. I made sure I said of time period, or our listeners would have lost their minds. But Space Jam is awesome because one, Bill Murray kind of makes a final showing. It also has Newman in it, Wayne Knight, which even though no one really likes him in any of his roles, from being Newman or
he's supposed to be playing that kind of annoying character.
Yeah, no, and he does a really good job with it. So we'll give you that.
You love seeing him getting messed with by
yeah, no, definitely. But he's he that's what he does in Jurassic Park and all of Seinfeld, exactly. But also it ties in the whole Bugs Bunny world, the whole Looney Tunes world, then these Martians called the Monsters, and this legendary basketball game that if humans were able to buy tickets for it and go see this game, it would be insane. Tickets would be off the charts.
Yeah, I'm sure the ticket prices would be
it would be off the
better
charts.
than the UNC Duke game.
Oh my god, it'd be insane. And oh wow, no way, dude. It came out on my birthday. Well, I wasn't born yet, but the year before my birthday. No way. It's pretty hype. But this also, it has Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, everybody. And then it's every single Bugs Bunny. It has all of them.
Monstars are made up of Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
And they go through their little adventure trying to find a way to get his powers back.
Because
trying to get all their skills back because they get stolen and whatnot.
Yeah, because these Martians, these tiny little Martians, honestly, a perfect description of really what aliens, non-threatening aliens could be. They end up stealing these powers. Well, it's really funny when they do steal the powers from all these awesome players because then, the players freak out. They end up shutting down the NBA. They're like, "What's going on? There's a disease," which is kind of funny. And then and then Bugs Bunny, the only way to save him is by hijacking Michael Jordan from the real world. And Michael Jordan he starts balling and just starts slamming and
Michael Jordan just carries the team for
It's but great. Then they drink Gatorade.
Psychs him out and gets them all hyped up with his Michael Jordan's special sauce or something like that.
Isn't it just water?
Yeah, it was just water.
But
it was like a placebo.
Yeah,
effect
they
to get him amped for the second half,
which I guess works for a little. It does work for a little bit.
It worked.
But honestly, even Granny makes an appearance in it, and the Barnyard Dog. Everybody gets a little piece of the
They get
pie.
almost all the Looney Tunes in that I could ever think of. Lola the Rabbit, fantastic. Probably. Oh my gosh, Lola the Rabbit.
What, Willis? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, why are you sweating right now, Willis? Jeez, you're blushing.
Hey, it's Lola the Rabbit. That's all I'm really gonna say.
But Bill Murray does make a fantastic timing in this movie, which the fact that he somehow gets in this movie, gets into the environment, doesn't really kind of make sense. but it's awesome, and it doesn't make sense at all. But he still doesn't, and
Hey! Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
That's our fifth guy. Let's go. Now you get to live up your dream. Let's go.
and Bill Murray. If you don't know Bill Murray, just stop listening and go to any TV screen and look up Bill Murray. All right, Will. So you ready for your third?
Yes, this is actually personally my favorite basketball movie, but I don't think it's like the best of them. Finding Forrester.
Finding Forrester. All right, I don't have anything, so you're taking the wheel.
Awesome. This is a little more obscure one. It's from 2000, directed by a guy named Gus Van Sant, and it's Sean Connery and a guy named Rob Brown, and actually Busta Rhymes is in it too.
No way.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes plays Rob Brown's older brother. So his name's Jamal in the movie though. So it's William Forrester and Jamal Wallace, and the whole movie is based on a incredibly smart high school athlete that is African American in the Bronx of New York. And Sean Connery plays William Forrester, who is a famous writer. He more or less wrote the To Kill a Mockingbird of the 20th century in this. And they are Jamal Wallace is growing up in the Bronx, and he is basically going to he gets an academic scholarship to a prestigious private school where basically they want him to go play basketball in exchange for a better education. So it's a great opportunity for him to already kind of get out of the Bronx and try and make a better life for himself. But what isn't really expected is that he's wicked smart and a really gifted writer. And due to a series of events, he stumbles upon William Forrester, who's pretty much a hermit living in his apartment alone. And they kind of create this bond and friendship. And the whole movie really just challenges social norms for this African-American student who's in an all-white private school trying to play basketball and become a really good writer. And he's accused of cheating about a third into the movie. And that's kind of where the whole thing comes, where he's heavily judged on whether or not he can actually write that well, and he's actually all that smart. And they really kind of attack him for his race in it. And so it's really, the whole point of it is to challenges the social norms of the school and just people in general, while also it's a really good, it's almost of a coming-of-age story for Jamal Wallace, along with helping William Forrester, who's his hermit, kind of come back into his own.
What is it, Finding Forrester?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Really good movie.
Sean Connery's in it. What a guy.
Yeah, Sean Connery is William Forrester.
Young writer prodigy finds a mentor.
Yeah.
Is it basketball?
He's recruited to the school for basketball.
Okay.
And so the whole issue is him dealing between academics and what the basketball team wants for him, and how he's like almost blackmailed into playing for the team for an education.
Yeah.
It's kind of extortion.
Interesting.
But it's really interesting, and there's some really good scenes in it. Like at one point, he hits 50 straight free throws. You watch about like a third of it, but
Who does? Sean Connery?
no, Jamal Wallace.
Oh, Rob Brown.
William
Okay.
Forrester is a writer. He's doesn't leave his apartment for pretty much like the entire movie. You barely see him out of his apartment.
Gotcha.
He comes into play because basically he's tutoring Jamal, and Jamal gets in trouble for supposedly he's too good at school. Like he was too good at writing, and he embarrassed a professor. And so basically that's like they're challenging him because of his ethnicity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a really good movie. It's like
an actually really good movie, along with a basketball movie. It's why like it may not be as fun as some of the other movies, but it's really, really.
Definitely when I looked up basketball movies, Finding Forrester came up, and I'd never heard of it, so I didn't even bother looking at it. And I've never seen it, so that's why I let Willis take the reins.
It's a really good take on social justice for like high school recruiting, or for recruiting for any sport for that matter, about getting an education and
definitely
things like that.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of skipped over our break time there, but Willis, great job on Finding Forrester. Yeah.
Yep.
But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Tonight, our sponsor is, of course. Well, there's two sponsors. Of course, Undercurrents at 9 p.m. with Xander Caldwell, also known as Alex Caldwell. He gives you a bunch of songs that you've probably never heard of, but from some big hits like the Black Keys, Lord Huron, New Radicals, and also the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Right. Sorry, drawing a blank there. But he has a great show, and if you need some new music, definitely tune into that. But also our other sponsor is by Opub The Bar. Tonight, actually, from 9:30 to midnight, my boy Rami, who was on here for the Dark Knight trilogy, will be playing his beautiful piano skill. He will be sharing his beautiful piano skills all night. So if you need a place to study, I recommend go there because Rami will be hitting the keys all night. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Are You Man Enough by Four Tops.
There's not a street that you can walk. You got to watch just who you're talking to. They're out to get you. Can't turn your back on a smiling face. Next thing you know, there ain't no trace of you. And this I bet you, some people lose and some folks win. It's a matter of what they do. Are you man enough, big and bad enough? Are you gonna let 'em shoot you down when the evil flies and your brother cries? Are you gonna be around? Someone needs a friend just around the bend. Don't you think you should be there? Are you man enough when the going's rough? Is it in your heart to care? There's no pretending it goes away. With every step that you take, you pay your dues. And I ain't lying. You got to struggle to see the light. 'Cause someone's looking to steal your right to choose. And they don't stop trying. It's like a jungle outside the door. And it's keeping you so confused. Are you man enough, big and bad enough? Are you gonna let 'em shoot you down when the evil flies and your brother cries? Are you gonna be around? Gotta keep your eye on the passers-by, better watch your step. 'Cause you never know where the knife will go and they ain't missed yet. The strong survive, they stay alive.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming back for the continuing show of We're Gonna Need a Bigger Blog. I'm your host, Alec Holker, and I got my special guest and special friend, Willis Levert.
What's up?
Hey, there it is. There it is. Willis got done talking about his third on his top 5 of all-time basketball movies. And I also want to give a shout-out to my boy, Austin Sweeney. He was unable to come up here and talk to us because he's crunching numbers downtown because it's tax season, and he's a great accounting guy. Someday he'll be doing my taxes. But he wanted to share his top 5, and his number 1 is Like Mike, so bold choice, Sweeney. Number 2, Coach Carter. I respect that. Glory Road is his 3rd. Will Ferrell's Semi-Pro is his number 4, and then White Men Can't Jump makes his number 5. Willis was talking about that earlier. Definitely makes a good argument for that. But also our other listener, Noah Downs, he was not able to come because he actually has class till 9, so an academics comes first on this show. And his number 1 is Hoosiers, so completely different aspect from where we are. 2, Glory Road. 3, Coach Carter. So they both had Glory Road and Coach Carter as their 2 and 3. 4, Space Jam. Nice, Downs. I agree with you. And 5 is More Than a Game. Did you talk about that one? More Than a Game? I've never heard of that one.
I know it. I can't think of what it's about, though.
And then he said honorable mention Air Bud, which is definitely true because Air Bud is just hands down one of the it's fantastic. It also just makes you want to go buy a golden retriever like right away. But it's a great movie.
Yeah,
and
he said more than a game because that's how I know. It's the documentary about LeBron.
Oh my God. Okay, makes sense.
Asterisk.
Okay, Thanks, Sweeney. Thanks. Willis told me. Yeah, thanks, Sweeney. He texted me. He said it's a LeBron documentary.
Yep.
I don't know why you just didn't call him Sweeney. He's such a loser. All right. Number two. My number two is Glory Road, and this movie is fantastic. And this was one of my favorite scenes.
Great players make simple, basic, easy plays. Showboating, just nothing but insecurity.
He didn't want us playing our game. Why'd he bring us out here?
Man, I'm sick of him riding my butt.
I don't need this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
This ain't basketball. You killing us.
Well, from where I'm standing, you don't got much to bargain with. What? You won't quit? You want to quit? You quit right now, you quit every day the rest of your life.
Watch.
Such a beautiful movie. It follows it's based around in 1966 when the Texas Western coach Don Haskins leads the first all-black starting lineup for a college basketball team to win the NCAA national championship. Perfect time for March Madness. Perfect time to watch that, honestly. That'd be a great movie to watch tonight or tomorrow before the games start around noon on TNT, CW. What are the other ones? I don't know.
TBS.
TBS. There's one more.
Not CNN.
CBS.
TNT. Sorry.
I said TNT. CBS, TNT, CW. Catch them there.
Yeah.
Catch the game. Or go to B-Dubs. But really an awesome movie. Came out in 2006.
True story.
True story. Josh Lucas plays Don Haskins. Does a great job. And really the whole movie, you're really drawn into it. It's sad at a couple points, but it really just continues to get better and better. It won the ESPYs, in 2006 for Best Sports Movie. Definitely earned its right, and it definitely earned its number two. And earned its top three on our other listeners' lists on Austin Sweeney's and Downs's. So definitely earned its keep. Willis, what's your number two?
My number two is He Got Game. I don't have a lot to say about this, but it's just it's pretty much it's a Spike Lee film. It's got Ray Allen in it. He plays a guy named Jesus Shuttleworth.
Oh, so Ray Allen doesn't even play himself. I was expecting.
No,
Oh wow.
He basically plays himself though. He's like a number one recruit out of high school, and his dad accidentally kills his mom in a manslaughter incident, and is in jail. But he's released on a week parole. To try and convince his son to go play at it's like Big State University. It's just a stand-in really name, but it was really just about trying to and that's to shorten his actual sentence and get him out of prison. And Jesus Shuttleworth or Ray Allen resents him for accidentally killing his mom, and it touches on a lot of poverty and a lot of issues, and then it really goes through the whole recruiting process, really similar to The Blind Side, how you get to see all the coaches and all the stuff they throw at them, all the money, girls, cars, things like that. And it's a really hot take on basically recruiting and getting out of the hood. And that's what most of it is about. Really complicated relationship between Denzel Washington and Ray Allen. Ray Allen might be one of the only basketball players that can act.
Wow.
And really, really good movie and really, really good soundtrack. He Got Game is a pretty famous song by Public Enemy now, and it was from this movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and it was kind of when I hit play. Oh, well, when I turned on the clip,
I know,
it was already
played it.
It was already running from the last song.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to Spike Lee for winning Best Original. I think what is you just won for
most people say this was like Spike Lee's like best movie since Malcolm X, which was also with Denzel Washington.
The best was Do the Right Thing. Nobody knows that. Yeah, he won best adapted screenplay.
Yeah,
and that was legendary for Spike Lee. Do the Right Thing is a great movie and literally speaks Spike Lee's mind. But that's another time.
Yep.
And then so honorable mentions before we grab to our ones. I just want to say Air Bud is phenomenal. And then of course I talked about basketball before, but definitely.
Yeah, my honorable mentions are probably Space Jam.
Space Jam didn't make. Oh, that's right.
Space Jam's not
did
my
make
top
your
five. I took a little more
Sheesh.
serious. I didn't, other than White Man Can't Jump. Space Jam and Like Mike for sure, and Like Mike 2, but Like Mike 2 is like, But
yeah. Well, my number one is.
Yes, unfortunately, our number ones are the same, so it's a little dull.
They are, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Coach
It definitely
Carter.
earns its
Play
spot.
like winners, act like winners, and most importantly, you will be winners. If you listen and learn, you will win basketball games. And gentlemen, winning in here is the key to winning out there. This contract states that you will maintain a 2.3 grade point average. You will attend all your classes, and you will sit in the front row of those classes.
Yo, this a country-ass nigga, dog.
Excuse me, did you say something, sir?
Worm was wondering, are you some country church nigga with your tie on and all that? Right. That's what you trying to say, right?
And what is your name, sir?
I'm Timo Cruz, sir.
Well, Mr. Cruz and Mr. Worm, what you should both know is we treat ourselves with respect. We don't use the word nigga.
Are you some preacher man or some shit? Because God ain't gonna do you no good in this neighborhood.
I live in this neighborhood, sir.
Sir, can you believe this uppity Negro? Sir.
Okay, Mr. Cruz. Leave the gym right now.
For what?
I'll ask you one last time to leave the gym before I help you leave.
Before you what? Do you even know who I am?
From what I can see, a very confused and scared young man.
Scared of who? Scared of you? I'm supposed to be scared of you? Nigga, I ain't scared of nobody. I would lay your ass out.
I don't think so.
Go on, get off me.
Yep. Really sets the stage for the entire movie. And Coach Carter, legendary movie. Samuel L. Jackson also is just all-time one of the greatest actors out there. Shout out to him and Captain Marvel. It's making millions, bringing in every weekend so far.
Sneaky good cast also. Channing Tatum's in it.
Totally.
Timo Cruz or Rick Gonzalez is in a bunch of different movies. Rob Brown is actually the same actor for Finding Forrester. He plays Jamal Wallace, so I guess he makes 2 appearances as a basketball player. He's Kenyon Stone and the best player in this movie.
Also, Junior's mother is played by Octavia Spencer.
Yep.
Legendary. Also, she's making her come up as well. So really, these movies are, especially this one, this movie ties in directly to kind of
This is very heavy poverty.
Yeah,
get
definitely.
out of the hood. It's like he throws out statistics. It's like 50% of their class graduates, and then 80% of them wind up in jail.
Yeah.
After that, and like 3% of them, or something like that, or 6%.
There's like one player.
Go to college.
One player gets killed. Another player ends up that his girlfriend's pregnant.
No, it's not that a kid die. No players die, but one of them gets involved in a killing. Basically, Timo Cruz is with his cousin who gets killed, and Timo Cruz was the one with the attitude in the clip.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's getting ready for Undercurrents next, but here's Caldwell. Caldwell, what was your? Let's give your top 5. What were your top 5?
My top 5.
Yeah, basketball. Yeah, you're on.
Is this on?
Oh, you're on.
Top 5 was. I don't know. I know my number 1. I'll go up. So.
They go up.
I'd say my number 1's Coach Carter. My number 2 is probably Hoosiers.
There you go.
Also, that's incredible. You thought it was about the IU basketball program?
Yeah, that was.
What? And you say you know movies, huh?
I haven't seen it. Like Willis said, it hasn't aged well. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Back
Yeah.
off,
It
man.
just got bad. It just got bad, like sports acting.
Yeah,
It's hard
and
to watch that.
Hoosiers is tough.
It's also titled Hoosiers. I haven't seen it.
Well,
since
a
probably
Hoosier, you know what a Hoosier means?
What does a Hoosier mean?
A Hoosier is a native of Indiana. That's what it
Okay.
is. I actually looked that up prior to going to the basketball game, the IU basketball game a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, I have Hoosier blood in me.
You're not really?
Nice.
You
Yeah.
have Hoosier blood?
Yeah. I can't think of honestly about, and like I would put Space Jam up there, but I never was a huge Space Jam fan.
Why?
I just wasn't, brainwashed by it when I was a young kid.
That would
for
make
sure was.
sense.
So
loved it.
I think a lot of people were. I mean, at a time, I thought when I watched Like Mike, I put Like Mike at number 2 actually. So I put Like Mike in there.
Sweeney put that at 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put Like Mike at 2. I thought after watching that I thought Michael Jordan wasn't real. I remember telling my dad in the car, my dad, wouldn't it be so cool if there's a guy actually named like Michael Jordan who was that good? And my dad kind of like slapped me. He's like, yeah, there was a guy. He was that good. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was my first introduction to Michael Jordan.
That's a good one. That's
So,
a good start. 4 and 5. Bring it home.
I don't know. I don't think highly of basketball movies.
That's what we. Like,
I think
we started.
I
What
heard
would you
that.
put? Yeah, the genre.
I've seen the most movies I've seen in the genre have been football. I haven't seen many baseball actually. I haven't seen Bull Durham. I haven't seen
Yeah, I've never
Major
seen
League.
Bull.
I haven't seen.
Angels
I've
in
seen the rookie.
outfield.
I've seen
Moneyball.
Angels in the
Moneyball's
outfield.
great.
Moneyball's good.
Yep, Moneyball's really good.
Sandlot's pretty classic.
Sandlot's
I mean,
classic.
I feel
Trouble
like
with the
I feel
Curve.
like the baseball you would have a lot more controversy with your top 5. I think basketball it's a
Yeah.
little more consistent,
Yeah.
or at least it's a smaller variety.
There's really
Yeah, now
there-
they're rattling them off.
and then
I think there's more
football.
baseball
I
movies
mean,
than that.
football's. You guys know my number 1 for football.
Yeah, it's Rudy.
It's Rudy.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
And I think it's got an argument to be number 1 for football. But that's
Definitely.
my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Get ready
All
for
right.
undercurrents. 3 minutes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in for another episode of We're Gonna Need a Bigger Blog. I'm your host, Alec. And Willis, thanks for joining me again. You did great. We killed
Awesome.
it. Willis
you for
was
having me.
nervous all the entire day. He's like, dude, we
I
need
was
more
actually
people.
hyped because I could probably name off like 10 good basketball movies.
Exactly. And like Willis requested, he got game by Public Enemy. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. This cut goes out to all y'all that's been missing us for mad years. One love, yo. Yeah, that's right. He's got game. PE 1998.
If man is the father, the sun is the center of the earth, in the middle of the universe, then why is this verse coming 6 times rehearsed? Don't freestyle much, but I write them like such.
Word.
Amongst the fiends controlled by the screens, what does it all mean, all this shit I'm seeing? Human beings screaming vocal javelins, sign of a local nigga unraveling. My wandering got my ass wondering, where crisis and all this crisis. Hating Satan never knew what nice is. Check the papers, well I bet on ISIS. More than your eye can see and ears can hear. Year by year all the sense disappears. Nonsense perseveres, prayers laced with fear. Beware, 2 triple O.
It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but damn the game if it don't mean nothing. What is game? Who got game? Where's the game in life? Behind the game, behind the game. I got game, she got game, we got game, they got game, he got game. It might feel good, it might sound a little something, but fuck the game if it ain't saying nothing.
Damn, was it something I said? Pretend you don't see, so you turn your head. Race scared of his shadow, does it matter? Thought of reparations, got a plan with the population. Nothing to lose, everything's approved. People use, even murders excuse. White men in suits don't have to.
Just an instrument to mend. I depend to solve all my self-inflicted problems. Isn't it a little late? Shouldn't you fly away, little dove with cigarettes, something that you can hold your breath.